Deep in the Amazon, where air once hummed with birdsong and the scent of rain-soaked earth, there is now only the growl of bulldozers and the sting of diesel fumes. Families who have lived off the land for generations watch helplessly as their homes, livelihoods, and futures are reduced to piles of felled trees. All to build a highway for world leaders arriving to talk about saving the planet for the November COP30. Here's our report.
Nothing says saving the planet quite like bulldozing tens of thousands of acres of pristine Amazon rainforest. This in a bid to build a shiny new 4-lane highway, all in preparation for a climate summit. As world leaders prepare to gather in Brazil's Belém this November for COP30, a global conference on climate action, a massive stretch of protected rainforest is being cleared. This is to make way for Avenida Liberdade, or the Avenue of Liberty. But liberty for whom exactly? Certainly not for the wildlife, indigenous communities, or the fragile ecosystem that once thrived here. The irony is almost too much to bear. The Amazon, often called the lungs of the earth, plays a crucial role in absorbing carbon dioxide and regulating the planet's climate. Yet, in a cruel twist of fate, chainsaws, bulldozers, and diesel-powered excavators are carving through the very forest these leaders claim to protect. The sound of rustling leaves and exotic bird song has been replaced by the relentless roar of heavy machinery. Once a thriving part of the rainforest, the land now resembles a war zone. Logs stacked like corpses, wetlands paved over, wildlife fleeing in all directions. For the locals, the construction of this highway is a personal catastrophe. They say everything has been destroyed. Many lost their primary source of income, and what's worse is that no one was given any compensation. The lush land that once supported generations has been reduced to a soulless stretch of asphalt, and this is only the beginning. Displacement isn't just a possibility, it's practically a guarantee. The highway won't even connect with the local communities. Instead, its towering walls will cut them off entirely, serving only the endless stream of trucks that will soon thunder through what was once untouched rainforest. It's not just human lives being uprooted. The Amazon is home to over 10% of the world's known species, many of which will not survive the destruction. Local veterinarians who help animals injured by human activity are seeing the impact firsthand. Rehab centers are worried about where the animals will go once they're healed. Land animals will no longer be able to cross to the other side of the forest. Their habitats will shrink. Their breeding grounds will disappear. For the jaguars, sloths, and countless other species that have called this forest home for centuries, this new highway might as well be a death sentence. The Brazilian president proudly proclaims that COP30 will be a COP in the Amazon and a COP about the Amazon. But if this summit is meant to protect the rainforest, why is it destroying it in the process?
There are 13 kilometers of deforestation. The fauna is suffering. We find dead animals, the loss of crossings. We even find jaguars approaching the territory. The igarape that Avenida Liberdade crossed. Many fish died. The water became very muddy. There are countless environmental impacts.
Officials insist the highway will be sustainable. They are pointing to features like wildlife crossings, bike lanes, and solar-powered lighting.
Clarification note about Liberdade Avenue. The construction of Liberdade Avenue does not involve the removal of residents and is not part of the package of federal and state investments for COP30. The avenue is a project started in 2020, even before Belém was chosen as the host of the COP, and is being built in an area that has been inhabited for quite some time. through which a power line passes. The route follows exactly the strip where the vegetation was previously suppressed.
And it's not just the road. Belém is undergoing a massive infrastructure overhaul to prepare for the summit. An $81 million airport expansion to accommodate millions of extra passengers. New hotels and port renovations to welcome a flood of visitors. A massive city park with restaurants and sports complexes. All for an event meant to combat climate change. The destruction of the Amazon for a climate summit isn't just a cruel irony. It's a damning indictment of the performative nature of global climate policies. When the summit ends and the world leaders fly home in private jets, what will remain? A devastated rainforest, displaced communities, and an empty promise of sustainability.
Do you think that Ukraine is at its weakest position?
This war is not about Ukraine.
Do you believe that your president was insulted? Yes or no question. Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Diplomacy will work?
Yes,
Do you
it
think
will.
Russia will give up the territory if there is no ceasefire? Do you propose to keep fighting?
We are ready to resist.
Do you think there will be peace?
Many countries gave us 3 days.
President Trump said you don't have any cards.
We do not have another choice.
How do you keep fighting?
You are asking me once again the same question.
Because you've not answered my question.
We have enough capacities to keep fighting.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister Lakshman.
Good afternoon.
Making headlines in India well before you landed here. New Delhi has raised concerns in the recent past vis-a-vis the Khalistani separatists that operate in New Zealand. How do you propose to address these concerns?
In our democracy, we believe in the freedom of speech.
Organizations like the Al-Qaeda or ISIS were to hold a referendum in New Zealand, something related to one of your Western partners. Would you say the same?
We have very well-defined laws in our democracy.
No specific conversation on Khalistan on this visit.
It was raised with me. I also raised back our position.
Are you willing to be open to these concerns from New Delhi?
As I keep coming back to you to say, we have strong laws in our system.